Okay ครับ we meet the time. Good afternoon everyone for coming to join us in this seminar on the occasion of 10-year anniversary establishment of our school, the Graduate School of Communication Arts and Management Innovation of NIDA Thailand. My name is Thirati Banteng. After call you can call me Tony or Sui a lecturer of NIDA GSCM, and today will be the host of this seminar. And today is a good day for us to be honored by the Task Park WHA to exchange knowledge on innovation and startup with us. We have Mr. Chang Yu Heng and his assistant Miss Song Lo Xiao join with us today. Thank you so much. And we will start the first stage from the Dean of our school, Associate Professor Dr. Gulatip Satararuchi, to welcome and share the objective of our event. Please welcome Dr. Gulatip.
Thank you, Dr. Thirati. And I would like to thank you all the participants and researchers to come to join our special occasion for 10 years GSCM anniversary. And thank you, Dr. Thirati, for hosting this session for how to build up the science park for startup, right, in Thailand, especially. And I would like to thank you, Mr. Francis Chang, right? Mr. Francis Chang, an expert for the authorized director of Task Park to be our special guest today. So we can learn a lot from science park from other country that you build up and how to build up science park and start up in Thailand. So will be useful for our student and potential to build a startup in Thailand also. And I would like to have an opportunity to thank all the participants today that even though it's raining season, everybody try to get home and you can listen on the traffic, on the radio or the iPod, things like that. So it will be beneficial for you and our country also. Thank you and hope this section will be beneficial to all. Thank you.
Thank you so much ครับ Dr. Gulatip, our Dean for the speech ครับ Okay, let me share the background of the Task Park WHA. Task Park WHA is Thailand Innovation and Incubation Center in the downtown of Bangkok in cooperation with China top ecosystem builder with the shareholder. The first one is Task Holding established in 2000 as the former name Tsinghua University Science Park or Task Park Development Center founded in 1994. And with the partner in Thailand, we have the WHA Group, the Thailand Leader Logistics and Industry Facility Company. The Task Park WHA is located in Block 28 project, the Creative and Startup Village in the downtown Bangkok, with the aim to support the growth of startup as well as promote sci-tech cooperation between China, Thailand, and other ASEAN countries. As part of the Task Holding family, one of the most successful technological innovation platform in China, the mission is to foster startup growth by supporting entrepreneurs with a wide array of resources and expertise. And today we have Mr. Chang Yu Heng join with us. Mr. Chang Yu Heng or Mr. Francis Chang, he is the authorized director of Task Park WHA, the assistant director of IASP China office, the director of Task Malaysia, Task Thailand, Egypt, Korea, Kazakhstan, Malaysia, Pakistan project, as supervisor for 10-year experience in Chinese high-tech companies, internationalization and startup incubation. Please welcome Mr. Chang Yu Heng to share the experience with us on the topic, how Science Park and incubation can help with startup the Chinese perspective. Thank you so much. Please welcome ครับ
Okay, thank you, Tony. You can hear me, right?
Yes, very
thanks
good.
for the remarks from the Dean, Ms. Kulafik. It is indeed my great honor and pleasure to be here and share some of my thoughts regarding how Science Park Incubator can help with high technology companies. Of course, it will be from Chinese perspective. First of all, let me share my screen. You can see my screen, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, it's full size, right? Okay. Okay, so the first thing I would like to discuss and talk with you is about GDP or about social and economic development. So all of the people and every government, they cares about the GDP, right? They cares about the social and economic development. But where actually this GDP coming from? It comes from a lot of aspects, comes from a lot of areas. But GDP is one thing relating to demand and supplies. As long as there are people, there will be demands. We need to eat, we need to drink, we need to dress, right? So as long as there are demands, there will be supplies. So who make this supply possible? It will be companies. So companies makes the supply possible and contribute in social and economic development. So there's a question, how we can make these companies more, let's say, efficient and valued by technology and innovation. So technology and innovation enable company. They give us a lot of, let's say, privileges, right? So now I can, in China, we pay anything online. We use a QR code, WeChat, Alipay, these kind of things. This is enabled by technologies. So technologies and innovation change our lives. And also technology, innovation plus companies. We got high technology companies. And now I would say all of the governments, they've noticed the importance of high technology companies. So in China, we have this initiative. We want to transfer from made in China to created in China. And in Thailand also, we have this Thailand 4.0 strategy. And there are a lot of encouraging industries, including biotech, including robotics, right? So high technology plays a key role in the social and economic development. But what will be needed for high technology company development? I would say there are two factors, except for itself. There are two factors. The first factor is, we call it, I'm sorry for the translation, but we call it soft factors, meaning that do we have the government policies? Is our development trend meeting the national strategy, or do we have a very mature, let's say, mechanism for IP protection? Do we have the good or nice education system to provide us qualified employees, or let's say engineers or researchers? Another thing is we need this hard factor, meaning that we need infrastructure, transportation thing. I can give you an example is, nowadays, all of us, we use the online shopping, right? So I can use my phone to buy something online. If now I'm sitting in Beijing city, but I can order something from Shanghai city or Yunnan province, it will be 1,000 kilometers away, but I can enjoy the one-day rush service. Why? Because we have this high-speed railway system. So because of the technology enabled company, it gives the possibility that we can use this technology and we have this infrastructure thing that we can enjoy this benefit. So this is what the companies needed during its development. But for a high-tech company itself, it's not easy to operate, I would say. So here I choose three factors of the high-tech companies. The first one is about technology achievement transformation. So we all know it's difficult, right? So it started from the proof of principle. We make the research, we make the study in the university, in the labs. So we got the papers, we got the patents, and then we need to do the proof of concept. and until we need to do the Prince of Quality, right? So all of this procedure, we may have difficulties, we may have obstacles. So it's a journey of challenging because we need to adjust our technology according to the market condition, according to the market requirement, I would say. And secondly, for the company itself, for company operation, it's also very challenging. So we may start it from 1 to 2 individuals. We have an idea. I would say, I want to change the world, right? And so then we register a company, we form a venture. But later we found our money is not enough. We need to invite other people to join in our company. So now we have the first outsider, maybe an angel investor, maybe a professional manager. So how to balance the relationship between investors, managers, staffs, and the founders' intention? It's also very difficult. And later, when a company keep developing, you may want to have more people to make the recruitment. We may know how to run a company with 5 to 10 people, but what if the company is more than 30 people? What if the company is more than 100 people? So the company management and operation is a procedure of keeping learning. And the third thing is about the market. So some people will think or suppose if I'm starting a business of high-tech companies, meaning that I have a technology which is a cutting-edge technology. And this technology is very unique. I can change the world, right? But will the market accept your technology in the very beginning? Sometimes it's a no. Because except for someone, they can really make the market bigger. They can make the cake bigger. Otherwise, we are just taking shares of the existing players. So we will be considered or regarded as a competitor of the existing players. So it will take some time for the market to recognize our technology, because in the very beginning, it will be so easy to be ignored. So for the market, it's also very difficult. And the next page, I selected some traps that I think the high-tech company may be very easy to encounter during their development. So the first one is some company, they may not have a very, let's say, long strategy. So their staff or team members, they know what to do today. They know what to do tomorrow. They know what to do next week. But what about next year? They don't know where we are going to. They don't know where is our destination. So it will make people, team members and staff so confused. And eventually they will lose hope for this company. And some company, they are lack of determination to persist. I can give you an example that, for example, let's say a company, we already choose a path to go towards to it, right? But during development, I will find that, okay, so another path is so easy to make money. So I want to make a quick money in that path. Take half a year or whole year or 2 years. Can I come back? No, because the market already abandoned us. Or let's say during the development, we may meet some obstacles or problems. We are thinking, okay, so it's so hard to conquer. So let's transfer to another path. Can we come back? No, we cannot. And some companies or some people refuse to change. They may be very, let's say, successful in their past industries or fields. So they're so confident about their products. They stick to their traditional products, refuse to change their product according to the market requirement. They want to do nothing about innovation. They want to produce nothing innovative products. And some company also, they are making this kind of, we call it disordered expansion. So maybe encouraged by other people, maybe encouraged by some successful stories. So they have ambitious and they want to make our company bigger enough. So they don't care about the market development law or the company development law. I can give you an example, like if I'm a startup company and I set up the first factory, My first factory doesn't have the fully function yet, but I found another opportunity and I set up the second factory in another city. What will happen? It will break the whole capital chain because we don't have enough revenue. We don't have... Hello. Okay, so we don't have enough revenue and we don't have enough profit to support our business development. And some companies, they started from a family, very easy to understand. They are husband and wife, father and son, brothers and sisters, and they started business by a family. So this will cause some problems. Why? Because their team members or their employees will feel like, let's be involved in such business. Okay, so this is a family business. Why am I involved? And sometimes the decision-making process is really not that, let's say, clear. So the staff will also be confused. And also some companies or some people will be lack of dreams. In the very beginning, we want to start a business. Everyone is saying that I have a dream and I want to change the world. But during development, they feel like, okay, so all the things are relating to making money. If I can make money, why I want to achieve my dreams, right? So they will do anything just to make money, sometimes against the law. So this is not the things we cannot do. And some companies, they didn't design their equity ratio very well in the very beginning. Maybe their core team members, their shares just less than 30%. In the early stage startup, if the core team members totally is not than 30%, I would say there is no encouraging policies for team members because they are not working with you, they are working for you. They are taking salaries only. Why they are fight my life with it? And some companies, they are choosing the path, but the threshold is too low. I would say, with all due respect, I cannot say that if the threshold is too low, it's a definite failure. No, but there is no chance that we can make it big, because if the threshold, okay, so I was talking about dreams, I was talking about the equity ratio design, because if in a very early stage company, if the core team members, their shares is not more than 30%, it will cause problems because your partners, they will be not working with you, they will be working for you. So they will only take salaries. And also for the threshold, we prefer to choose some company with a high threshold, meaning that not anyone can come inside, right? Because if the threshold is too low, anyone can come inside, and your profit will be very low, and you cannot make your business bigger enough. You cannot have the barrier of technology to protect you from the competition of market. And also some company, they may have improper capital operation, or they may not know how to use the financial leverage, just like I said. Because debts for a company is a good thing, actually. The only thing is how to use your financial leverage. And some people, some companies, they are producing exactly the same thing. So make your product very easy to be replaced. And some company, when they come after the early stage, and they just want to be listed in the stock market. They're listing for listing. They doesn't care about what stage this company is in, what is the conditions of the environment. And some company, they just follow the trend, meaning that, let's say, if in this year, let's say a very specific industry is very hot in this year, so I want to join in this trend, and I don't care about my background, I don't care about my advantages, I don't care about my major, I just want to join it. And they don't know about what will be the, let's say, stage of this trend or industry. It may be in the stage of forms, right? They don't care, they just want to take this trend. And so these are the traps of the companies, high-tech companies. So now let's say we can say that high-tech companies is not easy to operate. High-tech companies is not easy to operate. And high-tech knowledge companies is not easy to survive. And now we can say Science Park can help. So Science Park and Incubator can help in terms of the infrastructure. So we can provide better infrastructure. We can provide better, let's say, office, a bigger space for interaction. And we can provide better policies in terms of the soft factors, right? Because in China here, we have some, we call it high technology and innovation zone. Only in this area can the policies, specific policies can be used in this area. So by this way, we can support the high technology companies. So indeed, what is a science park? So let's see this photo. So this is a rainforest, right? We all know that if we put a seed in a rainforest, we don't need to take care of it. It will grow automatically and healthily. Why? Because in the rainforest, we have enough raindrops, we have enough sunshine. The mud is, well, qualified enough for the seed, right? Because in the rainforest, we have the best ecosystem for plants. But for companies, where is the best ecosystem? During the past few decades, we'll say in the Silicon Valley, it is one of the top ecosystem in the world, because in Silicon Valley, we have a lot of, let's say, research labs, we have a lot of VC agencies, universities, engineers, people who understand technologies, people who understand the market. That's why a lot of big names and unicorn companies coming from Silicon Valley. But what if the environment is not good enough? What if the environment ecosystem looks like this? If we plant a tree there, after 3 months, we all know the result. People are very clever. So we build a greenhouse. We build a small greenhouse that we can control the ecosystem, that we can create the ecosystem. So this greenhouse is Science Park. So Science Park, it is a mini ecosystem where we can gather at connecting local and international resources to support the development of companies. Inside this greenhouse, we can gather the resources from technology side, from finance side, from HR side. And inside this greenhouse, we can link in the resources from university, from the research, from the labs, from our R&D centers, and from the enterprises. So here is a place that we help enterprises. And the next part is, I want to introduce about Incubator. Well, Incubator is, we can think as a smaller version of Science Park because we have the same goal and purpose. We want to help companies, but our targeted customer is different. For Science Park, our targeted customer is more like mature companies. But for Incubator, we are more for, let's say, in the early stage startups. And here I have to tell you a very interesting story, because before, let's say 20 years or 25 years ago, my colleagues used to register a company named after Incubator. And then the officer was asking, okay, so your company is doing the business of husbandry, right? Well, I say, no, we are doing technologies. So they feel like so confused. Why? Because this incubator in the very beginning, it just refers to a machine that we can control the conditions. We can help X to become lives. The same with enterprise incubator. So enterprise incubator, it is just a service platform or organization where we can help and support enterprises by providing incubation services, by providing infrastructures to reduce the risks of their entrepreneurship and to increase the success rate of their entrepreneurship. Because, well, actually, no one can guarantee about this company in the future. It's definitely they will success eventually, right? No one, that's impossible. We can only do is to increase their success rate in the future. So what we will do, first, we will select the right startups. Secondly, we will actively create a suitable environment to make a perfect ecosystem. And thirdly, let's say we will wait for the time accumulation, because sometimes during a very specific phase of a company development, there is nothing outsiders can do to support them, right? So this is about the Incubator and Science Park. Incubator and Science Park support high technology SMEs by knowledge, by policies, by HR, by technologies, by finance, by marketing. And then high technology contribute in social and economic development by providing more job opportunities, by creating new products, by creating new business models, and also by contributing more taxation. So this is how it works. And here is a case study. Of course, it is the organization where I come from. It's called TaskPark. And so I will introduce about how Incubator and Science Park can exactly help with a startup and company. So TaskPark is short for Tsinghua University Science Park. From the name, we can see that it's a science park established by the top university in China, Tsinghua University. We were founded in 1994, and at that time, a lot of professors and students, they have their own business. They started their own business, but they just rented offices around Beijing. So it is very hard to make interaction with the university. And then the university decided to establish its own science park just in the east gate of its campus to facilitate the technology achievement transformation and to promote the high technology companies incubation, and also for high-tech talent cultivation. So until now, it is the largest single university science park in the world, with a total coverage of 770,000 square meters. And we have 22 buildings in total, more than 1,000 companies working in this science park, and more than 35 employees working in this science park. So, so this is some of our 10 companies. So you can see some big names like Google, NEC, or Bloomberg. We also have some Chinese listed company here, but I would say most of our tenant companies are small and medium-sized enterprises. So what we can provide here in TaskPark, first of all, it's basic service, of course. So we provide the services by property management. So it's safeguards, security, cleaning service, these kind of things. It's quite common. So every science park have the same service. But we also have this business service, conferences, and some business supporting facilities like banks, restaurants, gyms, these kind of things. We also have some culture and sports activities, because most of our people, 35,000 people, are young people. So we hold different kinds of activities. But the important thing is about this business service, other value services. Like we used to say that it is the service makes the science park different. And service is the key of the science park. And this is the reason why we come to this science park. And this is the reason why we are gathering together to be an industrial cluster. So in TaskPark, we have this government policy support. Because, you know, entrepreneurs could be very busy. They don't have time. All their time is spent on marketing, research, these kind of things. So they don't have time to study and read the government policies or incentives. Because, you know, in China, sometimes government will issue a certain policy to a specific industry, but they don't have time. They don't know. So in TaskPark here, we have a specific team to study the government policies, and we will help our tenant company to apply for such fund. And eventually they will get something like funding or exemption in taxation. And also we have this technology transfer service. So we signed the agreement with the university side, and our tenant company will have the priority to use the technologies from the university. And also we promote the collaboration between our tenant company and the university to jointly working on something like join the research lab, these kind of things. And also we have this investment finance service. So we work with different banks to provide loans to our talent companies. And most of the loans will be low interest, of course. Here, I want to mention another thing, and sorry I didn't introduce in the very beginning, because in my slide, you can see there are two logos, right? So one is TUS Park, the blue one. Another one is TUS Holdings. So TUS Holdings is the operation company of TUS Park. To develop and operate TUS Park is just one business sector of TUS Holdings, but also we have other business sectors. So science and technology finance is one of our business sector. So now we already created and established, let's say, full cycle chain of funds, starting from seed fund to angel fund to VC fund, PE fund until IPO. So no matter what stage this company is in, come to TUS Holdings, we can provide them by a suitable fund. So for our talent company, it will be much more easier to connect with the finance part. Yeah, and also we have this HR support, of course, because we just beside university, we have this training services. In TUS Park, every Tuesday, every Wednesday, every Thursday, we have different types of activities. And it may be something like webinars, workshops, CEO clubs, or maybe we can invite government officers to introduce about recent policies, or we invite professional people or mentors to guide them about the BP, or to help them how to avoid some legal risks, these kind of things. So this is some of the business service of TUS Park. So here is a slide that we call it the TUS vertical incubation system. It is about how we incubate a company, a startup, from zero. Because we started from 1994, and this is a theory that we've been working on for like almost 30 years. So this is called 7-step incubation chain. So the first 2 steps from the university side. First one is called Tsinghua Dreaming Course. We work with the university, and jointly we open the course. The student teams can apply for such courses. And the name of the course is how to run a new business. During the course, we will teach them, we will inspire them about the entrepreneurship. We'll teach them how to write a BP, how to find investor, how to meet your investor, how to present your business plan, and of course, to warn them about the risks of entrepreneurship. And as of the end of 2020, so we've already run 10 rounds of this course, and there are almost 200 teams apply for such courses, and more than 50 of them started their own business. And 44 teams have got investment. Now the total market value of these teams, I would say, is more than 2 billion RMB. It's like more than 10 billion Thai baht. So it's a student team. And the second step is called the Tsinghua X Lab. So it is it looks it looks like a student incubator. So we work with 14 different departments and faculties of Tsinghua University who jointly establish this X Lab. So it is a place for students and alumni to help the dream course. Sorry, is there any audience that didn't mute their microphone? Okay, it's better.
It's okay.
So,
it's okay.
Yes, okay.
Okay, I can listen.
Okay, so if you have an idea after a dream course, so students are inspired, and I want to try my ideas, I want to try my thoughts. So just come to X Lab, 3 to 6 months free, and this is a platform for education for innovation and for practice. You can practice your ideas here. And in the end of 2020, there are, well, more than 1,500 projects have been enrolled in XLab, and almost 600 companies have been registered. More than 30% of them got the investment, and the total amount of investment is 9.6 billion RMB. It's like 35 billion Thai baht. And the third step, we call it the test step plan. So the first two steps are from the university side, right? So we took a course in the dream course, and we try our ideas in the XLab. In the future, if I feel like, okay, so this idea is really worth trying, I want to make it more like a company, more business way, so we can move to the Tesla Incubator. And Tesla Incubator now, it is one of the largest incubator in China, but it is the largest incubator in terms of the offline incubation space. We have more than 160 Tesla around the world. We are incubating 12,000 startups in our network, and we will hold more than 3,000 activities per year. So it is a business incubator for enterprises. And the next step, we call it a Tesla Camp. So this is a camp, we can say this is a big event for 4 to 5 days. We will gather different people from the government side, from our industrial partner, different CEOs, professors, and investors, entrepreneurs together for 4 or 5 days. And in the end, we'll have a very big road show to pick their ideas to the investors. And the fifth one, we call it Diamond Plan. So we initiated this plan in the year 2006. So once the company is chosen to be one of the Diamond Plan, it will get the full support from the whole group. And as of the end of 2020, we have already selected 10 batches of Diamond Plan. Totally, there are 79 companies being enrolled, and among which 25 have become public. So if a company is chosen to be a Diamond Plan, meaning that one step to the stock market. And the sixth step, we call it listed companies. So starting from, well, almost 30 years ago until now, we incubated more than 10,000 startups. And among these 10,000 startups, there are 51 companies, they come public in our incubator. And more than 40 companies, they are merged by other companies. So 51 companies is a very impressive number for a incubator, because they most of them, I would say, starting from zero, and now they become listed companies. They are changing the world. They are making our lives better. So this is about listed companies. And the seventh step is called Global Incubation Network. I'll share with you in the next slide. I'm sorry, some of them in Chinese. So this is the TUS Global Innovation Network, because personally, I suppose in the future, the development trend of Science Park will be not more like network. So for TUS Holdings, the operation company of TUS Park, we already established this global network with more than 300 innovation bases. So we can see on this map. So here, the green one means incubator, and the blue one means Science Park. The orange dot means science cities. It's usually more than 500,000 square meters. So you can see the layout in China and around the world. So why we are making this kind of international layout and so many bases, more than 300? Because we are thinking that this network service is also a service we are providing to our 10 companies. Because both Science Park and Incubator, we are like a platform enterprise. So on the platform, the more dots we have here, the more powerful our platform will be. So the more bases we have, the more powerful this network will be. That's why we make so many incubators and science parks around the world. Meaning that if a startup, they join our incubator in Shanghai city, and they grow better and bigger, they can move into our science park, right? And in the future, if they feel like, so, okay, so there is one city, this city, I feel like is very suitable for our industries. They can move to the science city in that city. So our base has already covered more than 200 cities around the world. And not only in China, but also around the world. We have the Incubator and Science Park in the UK, in Brussels, Luxembourg, Netherlands, Spain, Egypt, Russia, Singapore, Malaysia, Thailand, Japan, Korea, United States, and Canada. So for a Chinese company, in the future, if they have international business requirement, it will be very easy for them to open their international market, because us, the operation company of the science park, we have the branch there. And for a foreign company, it will be much more easier to matchmaking with a Chinese market, because, you know, like I always say, TUS is not a company. It's not one company or one science park. We are a big network. So matchmaking with TUS, meaning that a gate to China. So this is about the global network, the 7th step. Yes, so also about how we incubate companies. So startup and SMEs can enjoy different kinds of services in our incubator and science parks. So they can enjoy incubation services in terms of legal, taxation, accounting, these kind of things. They can enjoy the entrepreneurial training, because we used to make a study about what will be the top priority, top requirements for startups. So we were thinking about, okay, so their top priority must be funding. They need money, right, to develop. But no, the thing they need is training. They need training. So that's why we hold like more than 3,000 activities per year. We hold different kind of entrepreneurial training every day in our bases. And also we have this open platform, because for TUS, we don't compete with anyone. We just want to establish an open platform and welcome everyone relating to innovation and entrepreneurship to join us, because the more partners we have in our platform, the more powerful our platform will be. And also we have this angel investment, but not all of the startup will get the angel investment. There will be a screening process. So this is about the incubation. This is just I introduced about the funding system. So seed fund until IPO. Yes, of course, there will be some stories to share, because we have more than 51 companies starting from zero and now become public companies. I'll just take two, because time is very limited. So the first company named Highlander, and this company started from 2001 and went public in the year 2015. And they are developing the black box used for vessels, and they make a big breakthrough in that field in terms of technology. And now the market value is 6 billion RMB. And another one is Suma Vision. This company is also very interesting, because they founded in the year 2000. And I cannot recall the exact year, but maybe 2001 or 2002, they met with a financial, let's say, problem or crisis, right? So our management company decided to be the angel investor of this company, because we work with him. We saw the activities of them. We are so familiar with each other. We have confidence and trust of this company. They are developing the software equipment for the television and networks. And now the market value is about 13 billion RMB. So at last, of course, I will introduce about TUS Park WHA, our first TUS Park in Thailand, in Bangkok. So it was launched in the year 2020, just after the COVID-19. And together with the leading industrial estate developer WHA Group, we are developing this, and operating this project. It is located in the downtown area of Bangkok, not far from the Samyang subway station, not far from the Chulalongkorn University campus also. And we want to make this project, this incubation center, as a bridge between China and Thailand, and between China and ASEAN countries. So we want to incubate the real, let's say, high technology companies and contribute in the cooperation in terms of science and technology between China and Thailand. So of course, we provide incubation services and soft landing services, especially for the overseas companies. So we have a very nice facilities. All the photos you see here is by photos we took, right? So we have this co-working space, hot desk. We have this private office. No matter the team is only 2 people, 3 people, 4 people, 6 people, we can always accommodate the teams. We have this town hall area. We can accommodate more than 100 people to hold activities. We have different size of meeting rooms. We have cafeteria, exhibition halls. These are some facilities we provided in TASPARK WHA. And also we have our services, because just like I said, service is the key. For the incubator science park, actually, it doesn't matter how beautiful our infrastructure looks. It's about what I can get from your incubator, right? So for the early stage company, we have the support in terms of registration, taxation, marketing, human resource. And for the startup company, we can help with finance, accounting, legal, technology thing. And for scale up company, we have different kinds of activities. But for scale up company, they care more about the market, about the opportunities of the business orders, right? We'll try to create more orders for them. So we have this kind of CEO clubs, TAS Talks. I think Professor Tony also joined us in the TAS Talk, right? Yes, we have this office hours. Our mentor will help our startup. We have this venture coaching, project fading, these kind of things. So this is about TASPARK WHA, and welcome to visit us in Samyang area. So I think my presentation is come to the end, and at last I want to share some of my personal feelings with you, because I've been working with entrepreneurs and in this field of entrepreneurship for a long time, and there are some feelings. And I know that today we have the audience of a graduate student, right? So I want to share a very famous movie. One of my favorite movie is called Scent of a Woman by Al Pacino. It's in the line it says, "Now I have come to the crossroads in my life. I always knew what the right path was. Without exception, I knew, but I never took it. You know why? Because it's too hard." I'm sorry, I cannot do the voice of Al Pacino, or it will be very attractive, right? But I want to say is, maybe the audience or the students, they may have come to the crossroads of their lives. They have several ways to choose, right? They don't know what will be the right path or which way should I go. Maybe they have a desire and maybe they have the ambitions to do something, but they don't dare to do it. The thing I want to say is, maybe there is no, let's say, a so-called right path. The only thing we can do is we work harder, we insist, we persist, we stick on the choice we make to make our choice look right and to make our path look right. And maybe some of our students, they may choose to be an entrepreneur, but just like I stated, to be entrepreneur and choose entrepreneurship will be very challenging and full of difficulties. And it will also be a lonely journey, I would say. It will be a lonely journey. It will be a choice of lifestyle. It will be a choice of how you will live starting from today. But it is indeed a lonely journey, but they will not be alone, because you will have your partners, have your colleagues, have your friends, have your staff. You also have us. We are technology service providers. So together, we will be with you and walk on this path. So you will not feel alone. And for those who really want to be entrepreneur, and after careful consideration, careful consideration, I will say that just do it and just make it. And don't be regretful in the future and full of tears. So I think this is my presentation today. And So here I have some QR code for TASPARK WHA for website and Facebook and Google Map. Please feel free to follow us in Facebook. So this is my presentation today. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Francis, for the presentation. It's very useful and inspires so much to our audiences today to build a business and cooperate with Chinese companies. Okay, may I summary and recap the knowledge for today's seminar? The first one, we know that Chinese company change an idea from made in China, right, to create in China to build the new brand image. The second thing, the high technology company may encounter during development and incubation center, such as Tsinghua Science Park, can help this problem about the infrastructure. The third thing is about the science park can help in various dimensions, such as in the environment dimension, the ecosystem, both in the local and international resources, right? And the last thing, Mr. Francis showed us the case of Chinese company like Tsinghua University Science Park as a lesson learned for Thai University, such as the Dream Course and the X-Lab program. This is very inspiring, and may Thai University can bring this planning from Chinese to may create by themselves. Okay, the next step is about the Q&A, question and answer from the audience. Does anyone has any question?
Let me start first.
To turn on the microphone to share an idea or ask a question with us.
Let me start first, Dr.
Okay,
Tirati.
the Dean from the Dean. Okay, thank you so much.
I would like to ask, like, since you start with the Touch Park in Thailand, do you see the difference between like the culture with the startup with other country that you have experienced?
Yes, exactly. Yes, because you know, we provide services to the entrepreneurs and to the startups. But in Thailand, we are also startup. We are also new here, so we are getting used to how we work, you know, locally and how we matchmaking with our partners. And it is a little bit difference between the Chinese entrepreneurs and Thai entrepreneurs, I would say, because in China, especially in the recent 10 years, so a lot of investors and people from the market will look for the technologies from the university, from the student side, because they know that the students are one of the most, you know, aggressive people. They have the ambitious. They really want to change the world. So we work a lot with the universities in China. And here in Thailand, actually, we started also to work with university, and we work with Chulalongkorn University, we work with NIDA. And in the future, we hope that we can continue this cooperation and to not only to inspire, but to attract people to join us in this journey. Yes.
And I just want to share, I think the startup in Thailand, the internet business already start with the incubation like AIS, DTech, through things like that. So they capture the student or the faculty to join with the internet business. But for you, is from like the entrepreneur part, but the faculty and I think the university part, right?
Yes. Actually, for the not only internet technologies, but also others, I think not only the students, but also the faculty members, and in terms of the university level, had a great potential to work together with, because young people, they have the great potential in terms of you know, the ambitious to change the world, just like I said. And I know that in Thailand we have the True Digital Park, we have Thailand Science Park, and for Touch Park here, we just want to be the, let's say, the linkage and bridge between different kinds of government agencies like DIPA, like NIA, and like NASDAQ, and like TSP, with universities like NIDA, like Chulalongkorn University or other universities. And also we link with the industrial partners no matter it's WHA or other companies. So we want to be the bridge and share the information, exchange the information, because sometimes our students, they don't know about this kind of things, because it's sometimes they are lack of some channels. So now we are working with some Chinese government agencies or some competitions. We are inviting the Thai students teams to apply for such competition. So in the future for TASPA WHA, we also welcome the students teams from NIDA to join us in the competition.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dr. Tiriti, we send one, right?
Yes, many times. Thank you, the Dean. Any question for our audience? You can turn on the microphone to ask some question with us. Okay, I have a question. May you guide a little bit for the Thai audience how to do business with Chinese company, especially in the high-tech area?
Well, actually, it's a very big question because I can give them some tips, but nothing will, make them feel like the real thing unless they practice about their business with the Chinese companies. But it's only not only with Chinese companies, but with other international companies. I will say the spirit contract will be the first thing. And the second thing is because I have been working in the internationalization for the last 10 years. And I would say one of the most important things is about the culture. We really need to understand the culture. If you're dealing with a Chinese company, then you need to understand the Chinese culture. If you're dealing with the Japanese company, you understand the Japan, right? Because most of the activities or most of the gestures or let's say logic has a meaningful theory under the culture of theirs. If we don't understand their culture, we will not understand about why they are doing this, why they refuse to sign this agreement with me, why they refuse to send me this kind of product just before the day we sign the agreement. So culture is really a thing that we need to understand. And it takes time. And for the people, for the students or alumni who want to set up their business in China, I would say to find the right partner. To find the right partner, it will save you so much time.
Okay, thank you so much. The culture is very important, right? You must to learn about the intercultural in many countries around the world, especially for this case like Thailand and in China, right? Okay, another question.
Hello, hello, Mr. Francis. I'm one of the faculty member from NIDA. I just would like to ask you about the process or the procedure. In case any student they interest to propose their idea to the Trust Park, what is the procedure to approach the idea to your company?
Okay, I got your question. So for our project in Thailand, TASPA WHA, now we welcome the because for every country we have a very specific industries. They are encouraging these industries, and it will match the advantage of of China, right? So for Thailand, we prefer the companies from, let's say, digital economy and advanced manufacturing, because digital economy is really a very encouraging industry from the government side, and advanced manufacturing because in Thailand we have a lot of industrial parks, and also because we have a partner in WHA, right? So we can give them strong support in this aspect. So we prefer this kind of the startups in this field, but we will welcome all of the startups and the young people who have the ambitions, have the dreams to join TASPA WHA. And so the procedure is quite easy. So I think today we can set up this connection, and I can leave my contact with you. You can send your BP to us first. So we will study about your BP and have something like an interview, but it will be much more, let's say, not that formal. And we should understand what is your business here, what you are doing, and then we can arrange about the moving into TASPA WHA.
Okay, excellent. Thank you.
Okay ขอบคุณอาจารย์ฮงครับ Thank you Professor Hong all faculty as well Okay another question Okay if no question I will go to the next stage for us do I disturb everyone turn on the camera for the group photo please and we have the questionnaire right มีแบบสอบถามนะครับให้ช่วยกันทำ we have the questionnaire for the Thai audience please write on the all questionnaire for recommendation for the next seminar นะครับสำหรับสัมมนาครั้งต่อไปรบกวนทำแบบสอบถามให้นิดนึงนะครับ please turn on the camera นะครับ to take a photo together ทีมงานพร้อมไหมครับadmin พร้อมไหมครับ How about the admin Are you ready Okay I will count down from 3 2 1 Okay 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 let's start with me 3 2 1 Please smile and cheese Okay one more again 3 2 1 Okay, thank you so much for today. Thank you, Mr. Chang Yu Heng, for sharing with us. We got a lot of knowledge and a new idea how to collaborate with Chinese company. And the next time we hope to be honored by the Trust Park WHA to join us again, as well as NIDA has the MOU right now with the Trust Park to collaborate with many projects, maybe for the next stage after the COVID pandemic. I hope that anyone who are interested in our project, please following the NIDA and GSCM Facebook page. As well as the Spark WHA Thailand, also the Facebook page as well. Today, thank you so much, everyone. See you next time. Bye bye. ขอบคุณครับเชี่ย
Bye bye.